couple weeks later, I was debuting in ECW. And I believe it was October 1997. And the rest is history.
So you mentioned earlier you had no clue the funding was coming from WWE.
I had no clue. Nobody did. Not even Tommy Dreamer, who was his closest confidant. I had no clue.
So in reality, were you being paid by WWE or Paul Heyman?
Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, yeah.
And what was your first impression of Heyman?
I thought he was great. I thought he was something out of a movie. Paul Heyman wasn't so much the great wrestling mind. He was a great motivator. He would be a great self-help guru or a self-help instructor. What he took was, he made you believe. He would talk to you and make you believe. He would make you he would look into your eyes and say, you could jump through fire. I swear to God, if you go get on this 50-story high building and you run as fast as you can, you're gonna fly, brother. And he would get you so jazzed up, you really could think you would fly. And that's what he would do. I mean, what he really did was, he was a motivator, but he also knew how to hide your weaknesses and exploit your strengths. So, there's a lot of people that don't do good things. Maybe some people don't do good drop kicks or good, whatever the moves may be. He knew what you did well. He knew what you did not do well. If you're not a good talker, he wouldn't let you talk a lot. If you were a good talker, talk as much as you want. If you were a good wrestler, wrestle as much as you know what I mean? He just made sure he just used you to the best of your ability, and he hid your deficiencies, So he was that's what made Paul Heyman. To this day, that's what still makes Paul Heyman. Well, his father's a lawyer, so there you go.
At what point did you start noticing problems with your pay in ECW?
God, I just, you just kind of knew. It was just, things were going downhill. You could just tell.
Excuses?
Excuses. I always got paid.
Okay.
But sometimes, it would take an extra week or two, and, there were a couple of trips I had to take to Paul's house. Not to threaten or anything, but just like, come on, Paul, cut me in your check, or something like that, not like being mean, just like, yo, what's up?
Did they bounce?
Some did. He made good on them all, though, at least for me. All I could speak about is me. I know a lot of people didn't, but for me, they all did, come through. I mean, he did owe us all a couple of bucks, but nothing, but you could just tell, you knew because there was nothing else being booked. There was always a schedule, and after December, there really wasn't anything. There was no television shows, there were no television outlets, there were no, but we were always being told that there's something going on, hold on. And then what I finally had done was, after January, I did my last, whatever the last ECW pay-per-view was, I just emailed JR and said, look, and I found out that, Paul was telling us not to go, and I'm emailing JR. Paul was already there.
He knew.
But he was telling us to stay. Can you imagine that?
It's awful.
And I just had a brand new son and trying to just get life by. And WCW was also going under.
So I was going to ask you, did you also reach to WCW?
I did, no? And they were going under too. They weren't hiring. That's what I'm saying. Jim Ross, yeah.
Okay, so Jim Ross.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. So in 2001, I got my offer.
Okay.
Yeah. And Paul Heyman was already there commentating.
He had his new job.
Yeah.